Oftentimes when people think of reducing the height on shade trees, but it's also done on fruit trees, especially when they get too tall, is to do what's called topping, which is where they indiscriminately chop down the tree to whatever height that they want it to be at. The problem with that is, oftentimes that response of the tree is a stress response where it sends out a whole bunch of shoots, vegetative shoots, that end up dying, breaking off, or what have you, not supporting the tree structurally. Let me show you a better way. Now, this tree is about 10 foot tall, which is about 3 meters, which I'm fairly tall myself, so I can manage it, but it is not super comfortable. I mean, I certainly can't reach those top branches, so I'm gonna definitely have to reduce the height on these. It's been a few years now anyways. Ideally, when you're looking at some of these branches, you keep a common height. So for instance, what I want to do is take off this section here, maybe reduce it down to this one. I can even go a little bit lower, reduce it down to that one, or even this one in front of it. But whatever height I pick, I ideally match it across the board, because all of those leaders are going to be competing. And if you have equal height on all of these branches, all these leaders, then they're going to equally share the energy amongst each other. It's worth noting that there's a lot of fruit buds that are up in the tree, and I'm definitely going to lose them. But I am willing to make that sacrifice, in case anybody is wondering, because you can probably tell all those swollen buds are all fruit buds. Whatever height you decide to prune your tree down to, you want to make sure that you allow it to gain some height every year. So this pruning I'm doing now, I'm probably not going to repeat for a few more years, because in order to keep the vigor in the tree, you have to allow it to gain some height, allow it to get bigger essentially. So I'm not going to be super aggressive with it, because I can more easily manage a similar height at this point than I can at this point down here. So I'm going to keep it up here and have that be our first cut. You want to leave a little bit of a collar so that it can more easily heal over as the branch thickens up. You don't want to go all the way down to the branch. You can see the amount of fruit buds that I've taken off in just that one branch. It's not great, but sometimes it just has to happen. Got to sacrifice it a little bit to get the tree back under control. Now you can also direct some of the growth a certain way with this pruning. So I've got a lot of vigor on the right side of the tree and not as much on the left side. It's probably because the sun is mostly coming from this way. But I'm going to prune it down to this branch here to direct some of that energy that way. And it also happens to match the height of the other branch that I just pruned. It's right there. So you can see that we've got that half of the tree done. I'm a little bit torn on the next cut though, because I can keep that same plane right here with this branch, or I can tip prune these branches down to the same level. I'm kind of thinking I want to be more conservative and just tip prune these, because this isn't the exact height, and these are all vegetative. There's a lot of vegetative growth on them, and these are fruiting. This top here is a fruit bud. So I'm going to be a little bit more conservative because I don't want to take too much vigor out of the tree, because I would just cut it all the way down here and take that whole top section off. But I'm going to take a little bit more conservative approach. Doing this also establishes the branch as a scaffold as well. So all these individual branches are going to develop, and then we can decide to take it back further. We can do more by leaving some more in the future. We'll take this down to here. Like that. This down to this lateral branch. I've got some fruit buds right below it. And then the last one. I got some fruit buds right here, over there. I'm just going to take this whole top section off. And I've still left some fruit buds as well. Now the next branch is a little bit weird because it rests up against the house and it kind of has to come back and then it goes back up. But I'm just going to prune it down to a fruit bud into the similar height that all the other leaders are at. And that should be good. Somewhere over here. Like that. Now as you can tell, this branch, this last one, is extremely vigorous. And we're going to have to do a little bit of adjusting to it. Now off camera, I tied the branch to the main leader here and pulled it over. Now if you compare the last shot with this shot, that brought it in a lot already. And the reason why I did that is because I want to see where these branches line up so that I know where to prune them down to. Generally when you take off a cord like this, they will settle a little bit further down than where the position is right now. So next, just like the branch beside it that we did, I just have to take the tips off of these main leaders here. So I'm just going to take that guy, and there's a fruit bud right here. So I'm just going to take it right above it. Just like so. So that is a lot better, and I am very happy with that. If you compare that to the before and now, could I have pruned it down even further? Yeah, I probably could have, but I like that natural look and I don't want to take off too much because I want to keep the vigor in the tree as well. I would love to just flip that tree around though, because you can see a lot of that growth is concentrated on the right side. If I could flip this around, that would be perfect. I'm going to try that. Alright, so I flipped it around. Now this whole right side can catch all the sunlight and hopefully it'll kind of balance out a little bit more. So that's nice. I had to maintain a walking path though, which means I had to prune this red maple down a little bit, but I already did that, so now it's perfectly fine. Okay, well, see how that goes. I'm really happy with the way that turned out. So, that does it for this year's pruning video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully it helped you in some way. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Tot de volgende keer. Thank you for everyone that likes the video, comments on the video, is subscribed to the YouTube channel, and a double thank you if you also share the video around. I truly appreciate it, and that motivates me to keep making more videos.